Now I ain't gonna lie, I already did record this, bruh, but it didn't have any audio, so I'm about to go ahead and redo it. It is what it is. So as y'all can see right now, the current portfolio value is at about 446. Yesterday it was at like I think it was at 394, 395. I put in an extra $50 today because I was missing the 50 from before. So yeah, now I have more money to put into these stocks. Now, right now they are pretty high. I'm not gonna, of course, buy it this high. But I am glad that it is moving up. Now, today I do plan on doing my first paper trade on camera to try and go ahead and learn more about options, things like that. So I was looking into doing Microsoft or Nvidia, one of these two. Let's take a look at Microsoft. So with Microsoft, the support, not the support, the resistance seems to be heavily at the 436 area, high 435s. So what I would do right now is go ahead and put in some puts for Microsoft and have it drop back down to that support level of the 431. Support also seems to be at around, yeah, like 432, 431 is like the good support, 430. So when this thing gets up to about, yeah, like the four, this was probably in the 439. I think that was in like the after the market closed or something like that. But the regular support or resistance seems to be the 436. So 436 to about high 435s, I would go ahead, put in some puts, have it drop back down, and then when it goes back down to around the 432, 431, I would sell it all, because I do feel like then it's gonna go back up, just based off what I've learned when it comes to support and resistance. Similar thing with Nvidia. Nvidia has really, really, really strong resistance at the 115. It seems like they just can't budge or break over that. And their support is at about the 112. Bounces off the 112 a couple times. And then the 110 seems to be the heavy support. Yeah, 110, 110. The 112 over here. Yeah, so the 112 to 110 seems to be the heavy support for Nvidia. So with Nvidia right now it's kind of at the middle mark. Right now, with me, I wouldn't make any real moves until it got back up to about the one, yeah, like the 114.35, the high 114s to 150. I would put in puts. When it drops back down to 112, I would wait. I would take a minute, wait and see what the market does. If it starts trickling back down, then I know that it's going to go back down to the 110. If it starts going back up, then I would go ahead and put in some calls and wait for it to go back up to that 114. That would be my plan. Again, I am still learning, trying to understand more about option trading and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of where we at today. The 447 is where we at. Meta is up by a little bit. Um, yeah, Meta's up by quite a lot actually. It's up $23. I think yesterday it was up like $20, so it gained a few more points today. Meta, yeah, Meta is at its resistance or almost at its resistance right now. The resistance seems to be at, yeah, around 600. It has pretty strong, yeah, about 600-ish. It's not getting above that 605. So about 600 to about high 590s seems to be the resistance. Again, same with Nvidia and Microsoft. I would put in some puts when it got to 600. When it gets back down to about 585, 587, I would go ahead, put in some calls and ride that train right back up. Now, yeah, today I'm gonna go ahead and do my first paper trade. Now let me see which one I'm gonna do because I'm still kind of stuck between these three. Meta don't seem like it's a bad one. It bounced off the 598 pretty much twice. Right now we're still seeing if it's gonna go back up or not. I got this section. This was a few days ago though, but let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is, zoom in. Yeah, Microsoft is nearing its resistance. I would honestly do Microsoft for a few days and go ahead do some puts, wait for it to get back down to that 432, 433, and then sell it. that's what I think I'm gonna do right now. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's go over to Microsoft. It should be hey, don't worry about this. All right, we're gonna ignore Disney. Uh, we're not gonna talk about that. Matter of fact, actually, I'm gonna wait. It's paper trading. I'm gonna wait it out. Even though this thing is definitely not. I'm about to sell it. We're not gonna do this. I'm about to sell it. What is going on? Come on. You know what? That's a sign for me to keep it. So I'm gonna go ahead, go to Microsoft, and then we're gonna go ahead, put in them puts, buddy. Let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's at a good price. I like this. I wouldn't be mad at this. If it doesn't work out, I would just see what happened, study it. Maybe I could have waited a little longer. Maybe I did it too late. I don't know anything. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Go over to options. Gonna put in some puts. It's already there. Perfect. So I would see because I'm seeing because I want to have little risk. I don't want to put in a whole bunch of money and I end up losing it all because I don't have a proper stop loss. So I do have to work on that as well as looking at the break even. So the break even is at about 434. This just ain't gonna happen unless some crazy news come out or whatever. This thing is not gonna drop down this much because the support again, as we've seen, is around the 430. So I'm looking for something whose break even is somewhere above the 430 or around the 430. Perfect. So yeah, 435 is the break even. Um, yeah, I don't see how this can really go wrong, really. I mean, but let's go ahead and get this. Now, when it comes to the price, this is a lot, so maybe next time I would go for something more like, why is this so different? So this one's break even is the 434, maybe because I'm holding it for only 2 days. I guess that's why it's not that big of a difference, but if I was actually trading, I would have gotten, that's a little kind of a little too close. Not really, honestly. 400, that isn't horrible. I think I would have did the five, yeah, the 575 with the break even of about 434 because I do see it dropping below that price. So yeah, we went ahead, we got the Microsoft. We're gonna go see what happens. Let me go back to it and make sure I got it. Where is it at? Okay, so my orders. So I don't get this. If somebody in the comments can like explain this to me, but the same thing happened with Meta. I got Meta like Friday, like afternoon, and the order just wouldn't fill until like Monday. Monday the order filled and it was up by like $500 for like a couple hours. And then it went right back down. But I wanted it for Friday anyway. So I don't know why sometimes the orders take so long to fill or like what I can do about that. If any of y'all know, comment that down the bottom to help me out, bro, because I'm a little lost with that. So we're gonna wait on that. I'm gonna update y'all tomorrow on how that one right there goes, this paper trade goes. But y'all kind of see my thought process behind it and stuff like that. It's already kind of dropping a little bit, but the order ain't gonna fill right now, so I'm not even getting paid for it dropping these point 30 points. So it is what it is, man. I'm gonna learn. I'm glad I'm paper trading. Um, but yeah, this kind of the update of where we at right now at about 447. So either later today or tomorrow, I plan on adding another 100 to 150 to my account. So I do again plan on adding that much every single week and put it into the stocks. But I'm not gonna lie, man, y'all. I'm real eager to go ahead and get some of these, buddy. I'm real eager to go ahead and get some, but I have to be disciplined. I don't want to get them while they're so high. These are just too high for me to go ahead and get. But man, I be having to stop myself every 5 seconds from getting this. I just want to go ahead and get the dividend started, get this whole thing started. But I have to be patient. You know what I'm saying? Patience is key when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, next paper trade, I think I'm gonna be eyeing Nvidia, or I can eye Microsoft again. I do know that it's good to stick with the same few stocks when it comes to day trading and options. Not just have a whole bunch. I want to watch them for a few days, watch them throughout the day, see what kind of moves I can make. If I see a move, I make it. If I don't see one, it's okay to not trade. It's okay to go a day without doing it. Instead of just doing it off impulse. So yeah, this is kind of where we at. Again, I was low key eyeing AMD for a few days because it's so low right now. But yeah, it's just so low. But AMD is just too. It don't seem like things is going too well. It's nearing the 52-week low, but that ain't a bad thing. Again, when stocks are this low, it's always a good time to look at it, and maybe you can pick it up right before it flies back up to that 187. So I will be having my eyes on AMD, even though they are competition with Nvidia. But just to go ahead and see what happens with it, uh, for sure. So SoFi is also a good one. I would be buying up SoFi. Yeah, this thing was all the way at the $18. I think like what mid-February, early or mid-February to like late to early January. So that one is also at a good price. But yeah, y'all, I think that's kind of it for today. Um, if y'all have any questions, if y'all have any inputs or anything like that, please go ahead and comment that down in the bottom. Just to give me some advice. I know I'm gonna have some people that's probably new to trading watching me as well as some veterans. So if you know what you're doing, and you wanna, give me some pointers, I would happily take it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having more knowledge. Of course. So yeah, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. I will be having those in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys.